Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream. Seemingly the markets are coming back up little by little, especially Bitcoin showing strength with this wick to the downside below the 55 EMA getting bought up pretty quickly. So as long as we close above the 55 EMA, we're still moderately bullish. If we manage to close the week above the 20 EMA, that is going to be a very, very bullish sign for us. So we'll go through some of the altcoins today. We'll take a look at perhaps a few low caps. We'll take a look at your requests as well. So if you have any altcoins you'd like me to review, let me know down below in the comments. Hey there, Sam. How are you doing? So let's start off with Bitcoin. Just a quick look here on the weekly chart. Once again, let's zoom out because that is always important to do. And I've shown you this multiple times already, but I think it was on a different chart. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's start with this one. So what we're looking at Bitcoin here, we're looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So this fifth wave is what we're going to be getting in 2025. And that will take us to the bull market peak, in my opinion. Let me just change the color of this. Here we go. So we're looking for that wave 5, and this will conclude, in my opinion, sometime in the first half of 2025. Lots of people are expecting November 2025 to be the peak, specifically because of some calculations they made from the bull market. Oh, that's not the one. Which one is it? No, that's not the one. What's the vertical trend line? Oh, Alt V, okay. So somewhere in here. So this is where they're expecting the bull market top to come into play sometime in November 2025. I think that's overextended. Again, it depends on how long this correction takes, because if we continue with this wave 4 until, let's say, January 2025, then it is possible that the top is going to be sometime in November 2025. But if the correction concludes, let's say, October, then I would say it's unlikely that we're going to be looking at a top in November. We could be looking at a lower high in November, and people are going to think we're still in a bull market, just like they were back over here in March 2022. After we had that massive correction, we had a retracement, we ran into a resistance level, and we got sent back down into, what was that, below $20,000. So I'm going to stay conservative. We're going to take a look at the bottom potentially in October, because what happened last year is that we printed a bottom in June 2023. We retraced, came back down, retested that exact same level, and from there we bounced up. We could be looking at a similar scenario here. We have a bottom in July 2024. We retraced a bit, come back down. October 2024, we print that second bottom, and then from there we explode to the upside. Now, in terms of altcoins, some of them are potentially going to print their tops after Bitcoin prints its all-time high or the bull market peak, and some of them will do it before, just like altcoins did that back in 2021. So some of them peaked in March 2021, some of them in January 2022, some of them in September 2021. So it really depends on the altcoin. It's not going to be like every single altcoin will not top at the exact same time Bitcoin tops. That's something you have to understand. So it's really important you set up those buy limit orders and you're ready to take profits at your targets. And Bitcoin's back at $61,000. I've given you the example of the correction in 2021. This was a 56% correction. What we're looking at here is only a 32% correction. So slightly more than a half of what we did back in 2021. So this is not a big boy correction by any means. It's moderate. It is what it is. we're used to this already in the crypto space, so it's not like this is the first time this is happening to us. But for all the newcomers, welcome abroad. This is how we play in the crypto markets. You get these corrections, your portfolio can drop by 50% in a matter of hours. So make sure you're mentally ready for that. If you're not, then I would say probably stay away from the crypto space, because if it's going to affect your health and your everyday life in a negative way, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. Do you think that Bitcoin top will be near 90K or 99K? Because everyone is waiting for 100K. Well, everyone was waiting for 100K even in the previous cycle. So what happened in the previous cycle is that lots of these YouTubers and big names were talking about 100K, which was over here. And with this next move to the upside, we were almost certain we were going to get $100,000 per Bitcoin. Everyone wanted that. That was such a big dream for everyone. But turns out that that's not how it played out, obviously. And we all got essentially, we all jumped into this hype train that led us to $15,000, $16,000. So you have to be careful with listening to these big predictions. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to get 100K this time around, because obviously with this bull market, we're going to print a new all-time high, which we already did technically, but we're going to print a newer and an all-time high that's much higher than the one that we have here. And we did this last time we did this using the fib. We looked at the fib, we looked at the potential targets. So if I set up everything accurately here on the weekly chart, so we're going to be looking at $85,000 roughly as your minimal target, and then $103,000 as your 1.414. And actually, I'm taking the wrong high. That's why the numbers are a bit off. So $96,000, $117,000, and $156,000. I would say as we approach $100,000 for Bitcoin, I would probably start taking profits off my altcoins, maybe just 10% off of every single altcoin, just so that I can at least preserve some of the profit. And as we keep going higher, as we get to 100,000, 105,000, 110,000, you can start taking profits slowly but surely off of all of your altcoins. And then on top of that, if your specific altcoins meet some specific targets, you sell whatever amount you allocated for that price. But in general, I would be taking 10, 15% off at each major level Bitcoin breaks. And then I would probably be out at 120,000. By the time we get to 120,000, I'm going to try to be out of the markets completely, because I do not want to be waiting until we get to $156,000, because that's going to be extremely risky. If you have your filled bags and you're sitting at $150,000, then you're doing something wrong, because we can crash any second at that point, and then we're looking at this scenario. And I do not want to be a part of that scenario. So I want to take profits as we are going up. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. That's exactly our strategy. We have a bunch of exit strategies on Patreon, so feel free to take a look at those. We have a 7-day free trial for anyone who's looking to join in. So feel free to check out the link down below in the description. You get access to around 90 low cap gems, my podcast episodes. We have a bunch of exclusive TAs there, and trade alerts, my portfolios, everything's in there. So feel free to take a look at that if you're looking for my exit strategies. But we will definitely be selling before we think Bitcoin has topped, because when Bitcoin has topped, it's already too late. And when your grandma's asking whether she should buy some Bitcoin, then it's already time to sell. So make sure you set up those targets in advance for all of your altcoins. The low cap gems can be an exception, because you don't know how parabolic they can go. So once they break above that $100 to $200 million market caps, then you can kind of see where the potential targets are for those. But for your mid caps, high caps, we kind of know what's possible, especially if you've been researching the project and you understand the technology they have. So obviously hype is very important, so it depends on their marketing. But in general, you get the idea. You do not want to be waiting until the all-time high for Bitcoin, or where you think the all-time high is going to be. Okay. Also, please cover near Arbitrum APT AVAX. Thanks, brother. Let's take a look at Arbitrum. We'll do a separate video on near protocol and AVAX, and we can do Aptos and Arbitrum. So Arbitrum, I think I have it over here. So weekly chart Arbitrum printing a massive candle, massive wick to the downside, as you can see. And we got to our 1.618 target. We gave you this in the previous live stream that we did. Or was it on Patreon? I can't remember exactly. But you're up 31% from the technical target that I gave you at 44 cents. This was a really, really good entry point, guys. So this is why you should follow our videos. You should follow our Patreon, because we give you really good entry points, just like with Solana and lots of other coins. We gave you really good support levels. So make sure to set up buy limit orders in advance. No matter what the market is doing, you should have those ready and set up in advance. So what we did is we took the top from March 2024, we took the bottom from October 2023, and we got our technical target at 44 cents, which means once you break this level over here, and you did that precisely over here, you back tested it as resistance and down you went. Then you're looking at these retracement levels, and the 1.618 is your technical target. That's where you usually retrace to after you break below or break above the first fib level. So right now, I would say it's still a good buying opportunity for Arbitrum if you're going for a long-term investment. Let's go to the daily chart. Yeah, you can see we formed a nice support here at around 48 cents. I would say that's going to be your next level to take a look at, 48 cents. And then you can set up a buy limit order below that at roughly 44, 45 cents. Make sure not to have any round numbers, as always, in your buy limit orders, because you don't want to be stuck on a round number with a bunch of other people. But in general, yeah, it's pretty much sitting at its all-time low prices. There's no point in waiting for lower because we don't know if that's going to happen. So you want to be dollar cost averaging as we go, and as we drop lower, you want to be buying more coins the lower we go. And if you're bullish on the project, then that's good for you because you're getting your favorite altcoin at a cheaper price. We also had a bearish cross playing out over here. As you can see, the 20 EMA cross below the 55 EMA. So that would confirm a downtrend for us here. And this was back in June 2024. And since that signal, we dropped even lower. Let's take a look. So we dropped around 50% from that signal. So that was your indicator to at least wait for a bit before buying in. But again, you could have been dollar cost averaging just by a bit. And then over here, you could have been buying a lot of tokens below 50 cents. So if I'm bullish on Arbitrum, or if I'm looking to buy Arbitrum, the chart looks set for me. And then once we have our bottom, once we know we've started breaking above some resistance levels, we can set up a Fibonacci retracement. We can take a look at our targets to the upside here, like $3, $3.50, and then $4.66. But that's going to be obviously in the future once we have our local bottom. Now let's take a look at Aptos, because that was also requested. So I personally don't have any Aptos, nor do I have any Arbitrum. But we are coming back down to this support at $5 roughly, which is the bottom from October 2023. What we can do actually is set up a nice block here. Nice support block. So that's going to be our support area that we want to be holding. We do not want to be breaking below this. This was our resistance back in 2022. We broke above it, came back down, retested that level as support. From there, another move to the upside. We printed a double top pattern. And if we break below this, support, we could have a target to the downside from this double top. And we really do not want to be dropping that low. So the 1.618 here would take us to $2.26 if we were to continue dropping. Again, right now it looks impossible, but we saw what happened with Arbitrum. Arbitrum corrected, it got down to its technical target. The same thing could happen here with Aptos. So make sure to eyeball this specific support. We do not want to be losing that. If we do, then be advised that these three support levels could be met in a very, very quick fashion. Especially if we have a major correction across the board once again, then yeah, altcoins are going to start dipping. If Bitcoin decides to drop back below $50,000 again, we could have a quick flash crash across the board for all of the altcoins. In terms of buying, again, we're sitting at our previous low from October. This is a good buying opportunity, in my opinion, especially if you've been buying during this uptrend. You definitely want to be buying down here, where it's cheaper, where you get more coins for less money. That's a quick breakdown for Aptos as well. Hello there, Elor. Nice to have you as always. And then again, for Near Protocol and for AVAX, we're gonna have separate videos for that on the channel. Tristan, how are you doing, my friend? Let's take a look at XRP. So XRP, I wasn't paying attention too much to what's going on with XRP, but my friend is into XRP, so he sent me an article or something regarding them finalizing their lawsuit with the SEC. You can double confirm that in the comments, but I would have been expecting a much higher move to the upside. I don't know if the SEC specifically wanted to do this during these uncertain times, because if this happened during a full-on bull market where we are in an alt season, then I think the prices would have been much higher. But we just had a 25% move to the upside, I believe. So the bottom here in July, we went up, okay, we went up 72%, but I think this was the pump here, around 27% after we got the news or something along those lines. But I did give you this support trend line. We did back test it briefly, and we had a bit of a fake out below it in July, but we ended up holding it for the most part, and then we had another wick back down to that exact same support trend line in August. And I've given you this trend line a long while ago, so you could have been targeting this as your support, and you could have been entering off of this white trend line, and you would have been in profit already, around 35%. And we are running into the resistance of this previous channel up pattern, so you can see this was our support back in the day, and then we dropped below it. This is obviously set up on the daily chart, so it looks nicer on the daily, but just bear with me. We had this as support, we broke below it, back test of resistance one time, second back test of resistance, and right now potentially we're going to be coming back down for another retest. Now whether this move to the downside is going to print a higher low or a double bottom pattern, we don't know. Hopefully it is going to be a higher low. I would be targeting 47 cents or so, slightly above 47 cents. And you can see the EMAs are very inconsistent here. They don't know what's going on. They're just going sideways. And it's possible we're going to get a massive pump like we did back here in December 20, or was that July 2023, around a year ago, where we got to the golden ratio. But again, this is an altcoin that I'm not holding. I do not want to be a part of this whole SEC lawsuit thing, because if it is actually true that they finalized their whole thing, there is no pump like everyone was hoping for. I did hold XRP a few years ago, but I just sold at minimum profit, and I left the project because there was nothing to catch here. And look at this. Since June 2022, we almost did nothing. If you have a long-term vision for this project and you think it's going to perform very well, which a lot of people do, then that's fine. You can obviously hold. But in terms of this bull market particularly, are we going to get to $4.32? That is the big question. Now, we are past our resistance levels from 2022, which is great to see. We are printing higher lows. And since we printed this top in July, we have been printing lower highs. So what we want to do is we want to start printing a new uptrend here. So with this fib right now, we're sitting at the golden ratio at 59.5 cents. We want to be breaking above 74 cents, and then our target is going to be sitting at $1.06 per the 1.618. That's what we want to be doing. And then once we break the 2021 top, we could be looking at $2.47 at the minimum. But again, we have to break this first. We have to break $1.60 first. So be careful holding this, expecting big gains. Even if we were to get to, let's say, $2.50 from the current prices, that's only a 4x. And I can name you lots of other coins that can do, 4x very, very easily. But again, if this is something that you believe in as a project and you just want to hold it because you want to support them, that's up to you, of course. You decide what you do with your own money. Now, in terms of buying, again, these are good buying prices because the price is effectively doing nothing for the past 2 years. And if your average is somewhere above $1 even, you definitely want to be buying down here. Like if I had my average at, let's say, 70 cents or something, I would definitely be buying in right now. I want to take a look at XRP's market cap. 33 billion. So it's not even up that much, to be honest. Helium is up quite a bit, up 50%. Sui is up 50%. Yeah, some altcoins are doing well. Injective is back up, almost back up to $20. That's good to see. Ondo is something that I might enter. And we have Cosmos. So quick update on Cosmos. And this is something that I talked about on my Patreon. What we did is we unstaked our Cosmos token. So I'm no longer staking my Cosmos coins because they did lose a major support level. If we go to the Atom chart, they did lose a pretty major support level here. We broke below our June 2022 bottom, and we've been in a massive downtrend ever since the September local top. It's been underwhelming. Obviously, I did receive a bunch of airdrops, and I got the money back from my Cosmos investment anyway. But I just think investing into something that is going to be more profitable, that has more chances of doing 10 to 20x, is a better idea than sticking with something that hasn't performed well. Now, if things change drastically, I will buy back into it. I'm going to try to sell above my average entry. I'm going to sell above my average entry. I'm not selling at a loss, obviously. But that's just a quick update regarding my stance on Cosmos. It's okay to shift, especially if your average buying prices are, pretty much at the bottom prices of the bear market. So my average is around $7.30. It's going to be really easy for us to get back above those prices. Now, if my average was at $20, then that's a whole different story. I wouldn't have been unstaking. I wouldn't have been reallocating into a different coin. But because I was buying in during the bear market bottoms, I'm able to do this right now to easily reallocate into a different project if I want to without even losing a cent. So that's a quick update regarding Cosmos Atom. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the live stream. Make sure to leave a like and let me know if you have any altcoins you'd like us to take a look at. Leave them down below in the comment section. And make sure to check out the Patreon link down below. We have a 7-day free trial for anyone who's looking to join, and you get access to 80+ low caps and all of my portfolios as well. So what are you guys buying this pullback? because the prices are looking good across the board. There's so many coins to buy into. Make everyone happy. Arrow. Let's take a look at that. Aerodrome Finance. Okay, this one we've looked at already, I believe. So Aerodrome Finance is a next generation AMM designed to serve as Base's central liquidity hub, combining a powerful liquidity incentive engine, vote lock governance model, and friendly user experience. Aerodrome inherits the latest features from Velodrome V2. And Velodrome is something that I'm bullish on. But this is essentially the main one on Base. Sitting at a $400 million market cap. Let's take a look at their markets here. I'm not sure why it's not updating. CoinMarketCap has been performing terribly, terribly bad. I'm not sure if it's an issue with Chrome. I'm going to be switching to Brave soon. So obviously we have it on Coinbase, Aerodrome, Crypto.com, Bitmart, BingX, KuCoin, Gate.io. So we still have a Binance listing. We still have a Kraken listing that could potentially pump the prices. But since the listing back in February 2024 below 15 cents, we went up to $2 in April 2024, and now we have corrected. So let's take a look at the price action chart. What? Oh, there we go. Let's take a look at the Coinbase one. Okay, so this one's sitting at 70 cents, and we have this massive pump from February. Let's go to the daily chart. Okay, so we can identify a really nice support area over here. We back tested this area back in July 2024 and right now in August 2024 as well. And another nice support trend line over here at 60 cents, almost 61 cents. We had a really good rejection off of it back in March this year, a back test of support in March as well after we broke above it. And over here, we're holding this as support right now in August. So these two levels are pretty significant in terms of your buying opportunities. If you ended up buying down here in July, this was a really good entry point. Right now, it seems like we want to be printing a higher low. So the chart is starting to turn bullish. What we need to do is we need to break above this local top in July and then above this local top from May. Once we can do that, we can actually assume, or we can see that the chart would be turning bullish completely. The trend would be switching from bearish to bullish because we're essentially printing higher highs and higher lows. That's what an uptrend is. But for now, we still have lower highs. And right now, it looks like we're trying to switch it around with a higher low first. So if we start breaking above our July 2024 top, what can we expect? $1.37, which is going to be our 1.618. And that is above our May 2024 top. And it also lines up nicely with this top or with this bottom from April 2024. And in terms of buying, I would say this is a good time to be dollar cost averaging into the project. Just because the price was down here doesn't mean you shouldn't be buying here. And it doesn't mean that, or it doesn't mean that the price is going to come back down there again. So just because the price went down here again, and you're sitting at 70 cents, you were down at 40 cents, and you're thinking to yourself, hey, the price was sitting at 40 cents before. I'm not going to buy at 70 cents. I'm going to wait until it goes down to 40 again. The problem with that is, first of all, that's your greed talking instead of rationality, because if you can buy here and you see a correction, you just buy more down here. Or if you continue pumping from where you bought over here, you can still dollar cost average in the future. But what your greed is telling you is that you don't buy anything right now. You wait until it drops to the exact same price it was down here, and then you buy at the exact bottom. And trust me, I've been there. I've been in the markets for around 4 years, I think, right now. And this is something that you have to avoid at all costs, because greed is what gonna drive you to your bad trades, to losing money, selling at a loss, etc., etc., etc. So what an investor would do, or what a smart investor would do, is dollar cost average. So you start building your position at 70 cents. Then if we dip more, you buy even more tokens at a lower price. And then if we dip even lower, you buy more tokens at an even lower price. And then if we continue moving to the upside, you just buy more tokens, not as many probably as you bought down here, but you can continue dollar cost averaging. No one's saying you don't have to do that. But expecting a specific level is not smart in any case, because you cannot predict the future. That's the moral of the story here. Just a quick example for you guys on how not to get trapped by your own greed, which we all do have. It's the normal human behavior, but you have to learn to battle that, especially if you're looking to make life-changing money in crypto. So if we set up a Fibonacci from the bottom here in July 2024 to the top in April 2024, our technical target is sitting at $5.36. From the current prices, that is going to be a 670% to the upside, almost an 8x. So our market cap is sitting at 400 million. That's going to be a $3.2 billion market cap for Aerodrome Finance, and I think that's quite possible. If base projects are going to have their own little alt season, then we could even go higher than that, to be honest with you. It all depends on how many users this attracts, what's the volume going to look like. But anything with base is going to be bullish in my opinion, because base is obviously Coinbase's blockchain, and Coinbase is obviously the golden exchange for the US government. So they're compliant. They're not going to do anything that goes against the US government, and that's a good thing for anyone investing in their projects, because they're safe from being attacked by SEC and all the other crypto haters. Thanks for covering Arbitrum and Aptos. Please suggest, should I switch them for Sui and Ondo? Both look better, but confused. Need advice. Just need a 8 to 10x minimum. Okay. So I'm personally not buying into Aptos or Arbitrum or Sui. If I was to choose out of the three of those, I'd probably go with Arbitrum. But Ondo is more bullish. It's in a more bullish niche, and I think the price right now is looking better. Let's take a look at Ondo. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not here to give any financial advice to anyone. I'm just letting you know what my thoughts are on specific coins. Wait, that's perpetual. Let's take a look at that. So Ondo has dropped on Coinbase. Wow, we had a correction back to 50 cents on Coinbase. Yeah, these are definitely good buying prices. So if we take a fib from that top to that bottom, we almost got to our 1.618 here. Almost. But still, you're lower than, well, you're pretty much sitting at the same levels you were back in May, back in April 2024, back in March. So this level here from March 2024 at 44 cents is going to be a pretty important level for us to hold. But this is where I would start building my position with Ondo. We are down approximately 50% from the local top. If we continue dipping, I would just continue dollar cost averaging. So Ondo is on my watch list. This is one of the projects that I'm eager to get into. I just haven't had the chance to do that just yet. But can Ondo do a 10x? Is it sitting slightly below 600, I think, million? Oh, no, actually, no, sitting at $1 billion. Okay. A 10x. Like, if the RWA narrative has a massive, massive run during the bull market, which I think it will, then a 10x is pretty likely from here. A $10 billion market cap is not a lot in the grand scheme of things. But I would say a 7 to 8x is definitely possible from the current prices. And then if you catch these lower prices below 55 cents, you're in an even better position. But yeah, it also depends on where you entered SUI and or it depends on where you entered Arbitrum and Aptos. If you're sitting at a loss right now, I would definitely not be selling at a loss. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on Aptos and SUI. Ondo is definitely the better option. Now, anyone requesting the Eagled review, thank you for liking the video, by the way. Swissarg, just a quick update for all of you guys. I did a review on, if you go to my channel, we did a review on Multiverse Eagle just a day ago, as well as Theta. So feel free to take a look at those. I don't really want to waste too much time talking about coins I already made separate videos for, because obviously it's more detailed in the video, so you can go ahead and take a look at that for yourself. Yeah, so that's why we're not going to cover Eagled on this live stream, but make sure to take a look at those videos. Thank you very much. Got any word mobile? I think I remember that token. Yeah, I remember this one. Not claimable. Oh, they still don't have the token, right? Early staking rewards. Yeah, but I don't have any of these. There, they do have a token. So $99 million market cap, still a low cap technically. KuCoin Gate. I wish it was on OKX. OKX is a really good exchange. So anytime you see a coin on OKX and Binance, I would say try to diversify and hold something on Coinbase, something on OKX, something on Binance, something on KuCoin. But it's preferable not to hold anything on Gate and KuCoin because those are lower tier exchanges. But OKX is a solid one. I don't have any World Mobile tokens, 24% in circulation. I want to see what the vesting schedule is, because that's a very important point. Okay, there's no vesting here. Okay, we're not going to spend time on that for now, but I don't have any World Mobile tokens, unfortunately. Too many tokens to buy into anyway. It's just really hard to follow all the coins. Mohammed Abdi wants to take a look at Vara. What is Vara? $13 million market cap. This has been out for less than a year now. 538 million tokens in circulation and 10 billion total supply. Okay. It's like, what, 5% out in circulation right now? Investors have 52% and team has 47%. So the unlocks are going to start January 2025. So until then, I guess you have some time to invest and see what happens. Or I guess September is when it all starts, kicks off. I mean, that is a weird allocation. The team has half the coins. Is there an explanation for that? What is this project anyway? Vara is the first standalone network in the Gear protocol. Gear is a next-generation cloud infrastructure platform providing intuitive and frictionless environment for Web 2 and Web 3 developers to build complex infrastructure solutions and disruptive dApps for any ecosystem. Vara is built upon 3 core concepts: the actor model and persistent memory, 2 widely adopted primitives from massive computation and microservices architecture spaces, WASM. Okay. Vara was created to serve as a WASM native hub for innovative protocols that leverage parallel execution and asynchronous programming to deliver leading decentralized products. Essentially a Web 3 and Web 2 infrastructure project. Okay, it's literally covering the text there. Okay, blockchain facilitates collaborative. Gaming problems and VAR solutions. DeFi is okay. I mean, it's an interesting design for the website. Let's take a look at their ecosystem. Total projects, 64. What kind of DeFi projects they're working with? Braindex, okay. Let's take a look at the DEXs they have. Infrastructure. They're working with Crust Network. Obviously, it's always smart to cross-reference these partnerships. Coinbase Exchange. Okay, so is this backed by Coinbase? Because I would assume it is if we have Coinbase and their partners. I don't think it shows the markets. Yeah, it doesn't show. I would assume it has Coinbase as their backers. I'd have to look into it. I'm going to save the project. And I want to double confirm the tokenomics because it's a bit weird. Okay, there we go. So community gets 35%, foundation 23%, investors 21%, and team gets 20%. Okay, so this is a better breakdown of the whole thing because team 50% is just a massive red flag. But this is not as bad, to be honest with you. But thanks for suggesting that project. I'll definitely keep it in mind. And it's sitting at its all-time low prices. So in terms of buying, if you're looking to buy the project, this is a really good time. Of course, not financial advice. LOL, no money left to buy dips. Bull market needs to do its thing now. Well, we're in election year, so I think it's inevitable that we're going to have a good Q4. And then we're waiting for the September FOMC meeting. It looks like the Fed is going to start cutting interest rates. I think the expectation is split between a 0.25 and a 0.5 cut. I mean, if we have a 0.5 cut, that's going to be crazy bullish for the markets, but I think we're just going to get a 0.25 cut, and that's it. I've bought Sol and Turbo. Interesting. I mean, Solana is a really good coin to hold, but I don't think it's going to do like a 10x at most, I think. But even then, 10x is just way too much. But it's a safe altcoin to hold, definitely. Also, can you cover Sand? Looks like a good buying opportunity. Thanks for covering Arrow. No problem, my friend. Let's take a look at Sand. This is an OG metaverse project that had a massive 2021, peaked in November 2021. Let's take a look at Sand. So Sand went down approximately 96%. Right now we're sitting at a 96% correction from, okay. We're still nowhere close to our August 2022 resistance levels. Okay. So our major support trend line was over here at 38 cents, which we did lose. And then we have 3 fire sale opportunities with this chart. So anything below that yellow trend line is a buying opportunity. The past 3 times was back in June 2021, October 2023, and right now July 2024. Every single time we had a move to the upside beforehand. Are we going to have a move to the upside this time around? That's going to be a good question for us to answer, but we'll have to wait to see what the charts do. We were on the cusp of printing a bullish cross on the weekly chart in March 2024. Of course, that did not come into fruition. 80 cents is going to be a major resistance trend line for us to break above. We failed to do that in March. So we're going to print a bottom here sometime in August, hopefully, or September. From there, we can start printing a Fibonacci, or we should set up a Fibonacci retracement to see what our targets to the upside are going to look like. I also want to take a look at the token dilution here. So we were sitting at $7 and $7.50. I want to see what the market cap is going to be like. And the market cap was sitting at 6.9 billion, which was around essentially. Okay, so just so you guys understand, this is what I mean when I talk about token dilution and the fact that new all-time highs are going to be impossible for some projects. For example, Sandbox. For Sandbox to get to $7.50, which it did back in 2021 in November, December, the market cap right now would have to be $17.1 billion. That's a 26x from the current values. And if you take a look at the market cap that we had back in 2021, that was a $6.8 billion market cap or so. 6.8, that's more than a 3x from the current prices. Well, slightly less than a 3x from the all-time high prices. Or from the all-time high market cap, I should say. So we could print new all-time high market cap for Sand, but I think it's very unlikely we're going to get back to $17 billion market cap, which would take us to $7.5. I think that's unrealistic. That's why we have to manage our expectations, and we have to understand that the supply has increased, and there needs to be a reason for the market cap to get to almost 20 billion. You know, what is so special about Sandbox that's going to attract everyone? So once we have this bottom, We can set up a Fibonacci retracement. We can even take a look at this top here from July 2022, or we can do this and then target some of the fib levels. But we need to see what the bottom is, because we're printing new bear market bottoms, and that's not really good. So let's say we're going to bottom out like at 20 cents or so. You could be looking at $3.4. But again, that's around 10 billion market cap or so. And then you have 1.8 as our golden ratio. So be very careful with blindly expecting certain coins to break their all-time highs, because that's what coins are supposed to do in a bull market. You have to analyze their tokenomics, you have to analyze their vesting schedules and their circulating supplies, and compare them with their 2021 circulating supplies. That's extremely important. All right, Nilary, thank you for joining. You can finish the live stream when you come back. It's going to be available as a video. Yeah, with Eagle, we already covered the fact that I have an Eagle update on my channel. What do you think about Theta? Theta, once again, we just made a video on Theta on my channel. Feel free to go to my videos, to the uploads, and you have Theta over here, you have Eagle over here. And Cardonzo, what is that? Is that a meme coin on Cardano? That's the first time I'm hearing that project. Cardonzo. It doesn't even have a... It's not even listed on CoinMarketCap. Cardonzo. I'm not even sure what that is, to be honest. It is available on a few dexes here. But like, what is this? Just listed a few days ago or so? Okay, it was listed in June. And we're still in July with this chart. I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is. Well, I'm glad you were joking, because I was like, what is Michael looking at? Michael, you're better than this. It's what Jim Cramer called Cardano, bro. Oh, okay. Okay. Can you cover VThor? Okay, so we're gonna do VThor, and that'll be it for this live stream. VThor token, $161 million market cap. Again, this is an OG coin. I see token dilution there. So 0.025 was our all-time high, and that was at $841 million market cap. So 0.025, that's a $2 billion market cap. So we have to do more than a 2x in order for us to get back up to the 2021 all-time high price. That's just something to keep in mind immediately. And now let's get into the chart. Okay, so we ran into our March 2022 resistance over here, and we didn't manage to break above it, just had a fake out. And you can see it's a pretty significant level, because back in 2021 and in 2022, we retested that level both as support and then as resistance. This was our massive accumulation phase until October 2023, where we started pumping. And now we're hopefully going to print a higher low. So this low from, or this rather local top from February 2023 is going to be a massive support level for us to hold. Hopefully we can maintain this level and then continue to the upside from there. So we're potentially looking at a wave 1. This is going to be a 2. Then we're looking at a 3, 4 corrective, and then our wave 5. Can we get to a $2 billion market cap? It's possible. Hold on, what is this project even about? I think okay, so it's like an infrastructure project on the VeChain blockchain. Okay. I mean, it would obviously depend on VeChain as well. VeChain is going to be a core component of this whole thing. VeChain is sitting at a 2 billion market cap right now, but keep in mind VeChain is not doing too well either. What are the listings for that project? Okay, it's listed on Binance, so that's good. Maybe a Kraken listing would pump up the prices a bit. We don't have a KuCoin listing, Coinbase. Yeah, so it all depends on your expectation. If we're going to get to a $2 billion market cap, then you can expect a retest of the all-time high from 2021. But right now, we're looking to print that wave 2 bottom. And again, these are really good buying prices because we're down approximately 70% from the local top from February 2024. That immediately is, already a good sign telling you it's good to start dollar cost averaging, because a 70% correction is pretty significant. And if we manage to hold 0.00168 as support, that's going to be even better. And again, I'm not saying we're not going to dump below. It's obviously possible, very possible we're going to come back down to the September low from 2023 at 0.000881. It's not going to be the best thing ever for us because we want to maintain an uptrend, but that's just a possibility that we have to look at as well. So make sure to set up your buy limit orders across the board, like from 0.001 to 0.000881. And make sure to catch this entire area over here. And if you have your average somewhere in there, then you're golden for the bull market. Whether we get to 1 cent or 2 cents, you're still going to be sitting at a good profit. From where we are right now to the all-time high, that is an 11x, almost a 12x. I will. Thanks for your hand, bro. No problem. So that's pretty much it for this live stream, guys. Covered a lot of tokens. One of them, I think, was a low cap. And then just go through the market. Take a look at what's going on with your altcoins. Take a look at your portfolio. See which tokens have corrected the most, which tokens are down the most, and try to dollar cost average into those. And I think we had a question about Energy Web. I think I missed that one. Or am I dreaming something? Oh, there we go. What is your opinion about Energy Web token? So if we take a look on Energy Web. So this started losing its October low, which again is a negative signal. That's not a good signal. As long as we can close the weekly candle above this October 2023 low, we should be good to go. Should be fine. Now, we did give you this support trend line, this yellow support trend line a long time ago. We've been retesting this as support since June 2022. We just had a brief retest right now in August. So that was an incredible entry point for anyone looking to buy EWT. That was $1.35 or so. And if you manage to enter at that yellow trend line. We're going to be up approximately 18%. So the point is we want to maintain this October 2023 bottom. That's going to be extremely important. But if we start running into that level as resistance, if we start retesting $1.65 as resistance, then we're going to be looking at more targets to the downside. So we're going to be looking at $1.06 as our technical target for Energy Web. I do own Energy Web tokens. I'm still bullish on the project. I think they have a place to be in the Polkadot ecosystem, and I think maybe it's a bit too early for what they're doing, but hopefully they can last long enough for the energy niche in the crypto space to really be well developed, and then we might have a like a top 30 project at our hand here with Energy Web. Heather MA, no problem. No problem. Hello, Chief. Can you look at SushiSwap? Okay, let's take a look at SushiSwap. Louis is our patron, so of course we're going to take a look at his request. I don't have sushi there. Okay. I think we covered sushi on Patreon not too long ago. Okay, so we essentially retested the bear market bottom from October 2023 at roughly 55 cents. That was a really good entry point. And then this wick just shows us that there is buying pressure coming from below, because lots of people, just like me, open up this chart, they put a trend line there, they see that this was our bottom on the daily or on the weekly chart, and then they just buy whatever is below because that's too cheap. So SushiSwap is doing okay. It's not terrible yet. It's not a dead project yet. I'm not saying it's going to go to zero, but we have to maintain this level. If we start breaking below it, then again, just like with Energy Web, we're going to be targeting more levels to the downside. Just like Arbitrum has, this could come back down to the 1.618 here at 24 cents. But hopefully that's not going to happen. Hopefully that's not going to happen. Hopefully we can maintain this low. And again, in terms of buying, this is a really good buying opportunity because we are sitting at our October and September 2023 lows. Anytime you open a chart and you see something like this, as long as you're bullish on the project, this is a good buying opportunity because you're sitting at a previous support. Retests of support are always good. It's always good to buy at those retests. So make sure you capitalize on these opportunities. And okay, we had this March. So we briefly broke above the November 2022 high. We were unable to hold above it. Okay. Yeah, we have to be breaking above this level with our next move to the upside. Otherwise, it's not going to be looking good for SushiSwap, because if by the end of 2024 we're still below this low from March, it's going to be hard to expect us to come back to $21. But let's take a look at the token dilution as well. Wait, that's not. They don't have sushi here? What? Okay, there we go. They have sushi. So the all-time high, if we go back to the charts, the all-time high market cap was 2.65 billion. That was $21. So let's take a look at $21. What did I say? 2.6-ish. So right now, to get back to the all-time high, we need a $4 billion market cap, which I think is doable. The problem is there's so many more DEXs that I don't know if Sushi can have as much volume as it did before and as many users as it did before during the bull phase. So it's really going to depend. Right now, there's much more competition out there. So we'll have to wait and see. Depends on how bullish you are. Depends on how it compares to other DEXs. But in terms of buying right now is a good buying opportunity. Full disclosure, I don't own any Sushi tokens. I need to bring my cost down. My entry was at 90 cents. Okay, and right now we're sitting at 60. Yeah, this is definitely a good buying price. We're down like 30% from your average entry. So you can bring down that average price. So to be conservative, I would say first major target for you would be $9.60. And depending on how fast we get there, then we can determine whether we want to be waiting for the all-time high prices to be retraced to, or maybe we could stop at $15, and that's going to be it for this bull market. All right. Thank you all for joining, guys. We're going to go live tomorrow, hopefully. And once again, if you haven't checked out our Patreon, make sure to do so. The link is down below in the description. We have a very good community there. Lots of posts. Since October 2021, you have all of the posts available to you instantly with my portfolios, podcast episodes with our TAs, trade alerts, exclusive resources, interesting DeFi resources for you to use for your own research. So make sure to check that out. Thank you all once again for joining. Thank you, Louise. Take care. Bye-bye.